Installation: a solitary cheap energy LED lamp may do a obvious deposit to cut the carbon sequestration emissions how are above heating the earth. But if millions select LED, later in a twist of the joint bracelet, their efforts will include done a considerable indentation in the UK's power consumer demand. Teaching Shaw hard to do means more than effective has cut CO2 emissions more than rather than revolving power has. The distinction is how charming renewable energy sees the headlines. The Cinderella box of power effectiveness, yet, is frequently neglected or derided. Who says the new analyze of by the government figures comes of the ecological analyze website Carbon Sequestration Short. Its writer says EU food standards on lighting bulbs, fridges, vacuum cleaners and some technique include play a significant portion in reduction power consumer demand. Preliminary calculations show how Power General in the UK pointed about 2005. But General per man is now behind downward to the standard of the 1984, about 5 MW several hours per capita. How lot carbon sequestration has been diminished thanks to power effectiveness. It's wide-named how the large selector of charcoal forced to renewable energy has helping the UK encounter ambitions to cut carbon sequestration emissions. The paper says the use of renewable energy diminished fossil gas power by the counterpart of 95 terawatt several hours, TWh, among 2005 and currently. And recent year renewable energy given a recording 33% stake of UK Power General. But in the meanwhile, lowly power effectiveness has introduced to cut power consumer demand by 103 TWh. In some speech, in the carbon sequestration cutting competition, effectiveness has won so distant. And which's more than, effectiveness is undisputed, in comparison with breeze and sunny. Which part has production play? The power effectiveness history doesn't fair use to households. Down there include been main strides among firms, too much. Big supermarkets include treated difficult to enhance the productivity of their light and cooling. And since firms and individuals are with less than power, how has displacement the growth in power prices? So until the prices include lost up, frequently billing include lost downward. The question is complex, although some factors include to be undertaken in expense, such as power imported via cables of continent Europe, people increase and shifts of old power-intensive industries. Should Cinderella effectiveness be permitted to light? Tell you changing of a B or C-rated refrigerator to an A++ nominal refrigerator. How can bisect yours power use of the device, so it's cute considerable. The UK by the government has sequentially told it champions power effectiveness, but campaigners say it could do more than. The UN's Environment Flesh as well supports power effectiveness as a main politics purpose, though the question features slight in print scope. But supporters of effectiveness claim how ratcheting up effectiveness standards for all of planes and cars to machine displays and freezers giving the top value carbon sequestration reductions out of the ache of opposing the social in restrictions on their way of life option. This enormous enhancement in power effectiveness tends to be fully neglected. Human beings Refuge T noted it since if effectiveness improves, they are yet capable to include the power services how they wish. I assume I should unwillingly accept how the reality how not one notices it is portion of its circulation.